The law of attraction is not what you think. And in this video, I'm going to explain exactly how you can use it, how you can actually use it to manifest anything you want to. You can also use it to change how others perceive you. And this is a very important thing that not a lot of people know. So before we start, and this is probably a bit unlike other videos I've made, I need you to scroll down and leave a comment affirming and I'll get into why this is important later, but you need to do an affirmation that you can manifest anything you want. So comment something like, I can manifest, or I will manifest today. So the first step is you need to investigate or kind of look into your beliefs, your shadow work and your personal subconscious beliefs. Most people don't do this. And I know that sounds a bit vague, so here's exactly how you do that. Start by sitting or standing in front of a mirror and really asking yourself, what would I say to myself if I knew I could not be judged, or if there was no consequences? What would I tell myself? And another way of doing this is you can imagine like going forward in time and then coming back in time to talk to yourself now. What would your future self tell your present self? And if you sit with that for a while, and if you're really honest with yourself, you'll probably get answers like, you don't need to be so afraid, you can do whatever you want, don't stress about whatever this thing is that you're stressing about, don't worry, things will get better, follow your heart, like the vague, almost cliche things which are important, but that you probably ignore most of the time. The next step is you need to identify who you want to be. What do you actually, and by the way, this applies not just to who you want to be, but what do you want to experience? Do you want to have a big house, for example? I mean, that's something most people try and manifest. It works, like if you want to do that, it works. But in my opinion, having a big house is probably not what you truly want. When you really sit with it, when you really go deep into your desires and why do you desire a big house? Is it because you actually want one? Or is it because you've seen pictures of them and you think that you should have one? Or, or maybe you think that society or your friends will think that you're successful if you have one. And then that's very different to what you truly desire. Maybe what you truly desire is to make music, or literally to be able to sit on the beach and, have a nice bonfire with your friends every night. It could be something like that, or it could be that you want to travel or something. Okay, so once you've decided who you want to be and how that person would act, right? Let's take an example. Let's say you do want the big house. Okay, so usually people with big houses have money, usually, right? Unless it was given to them. So you probably would have a lot of money. Usually having a lot of money comes from either investing or having your own company. It doesn't as often come from having a job, right? So then you start to think, okay, so the person who would have a big house, how would they act? They'd probably optimize their time. They'd probably think positively, surround themselves with positive people, and they'd probably own their own company. So straight away now you have a direction that you can go in. You simply need to start acting as if you were that person who would have the big house. And this is literally the manifestation secret, that it's like simultaneously a secret and also incredibly easy and well known. All you need to do to get something that you want, you need to become the person who would have that thing, and then you'll have the thing. And it's easy to get kind of lost in this because you think, oh, well, I don't feel like that person. I don't feel like I'm a big, successful person with a big house. But that's exactly why you're not that person, is because you don't feel like you're that person. However, if you start to really believe that you are, then you start to act in a different way. When you act in a different way, then you eventually, usually more quickly than slowly, you get that thing. And you can do this. So there's different ways of doing this. You can write affirmations like, I am successful, or I have my own company, or whatever your thing is that you want to do. It might not be a big house. It might not be a company. Just write down those things every day. Like physically write them in a notebook. Like, I am a successful musician, as an example. Eventually you're going to start to believe it. You might not believe it now. It might take you a few months to start believing it. But eventually, if you keep doing this, you will start to believe that you are that person. And that's when some very interesting things happen. That's when suddenly, if you keep telling yourself and other people, I'm a successful musician, or, and don't say I will be a successful musician. Say I am now, in the present moment, I am a successful musician. Even if it's not true now, you will make it become true. But if you do it the wrong way, and I see a lot of people do this, they say, I will be successful. That confirms to the universe that you are currently not successful, or, you're not a musician, or whatever you're trying to do. So the universe has no choice but to echo that back to you. But when you confirm it in the present moment, say I am whatever the thing is, then eventually the universe gets in line with your conscious intention. Now, there's a very, very important difference between what successful people do to manifest and what people who fail at manifesting do. So the people who do it right, think about who you want to be, and therefore the things you want to have and whatever, okay, the things you want to manifest. You visualize how that person would act, and you basically start becoming or being that person. So let's say with a big house, right? You think you want a big house. We've said that it's more likely that someone with a big house would have money, and that's more likely if you have your own company, okay? So you would start to act in that way, start to think, how can I make my own company? And then you just do it. You just learn how to do it. And then taking that first step, the universe is able to work through that, and it eventually happens. But when you visualize the house, you need to feel as if you already own it. And this is where most people get this wrong. You need to really strongly feel within you that it's already yours. You visualize the house in a way where it's something out there in the future that you might get one day, you probably won't get it, because the universe doesn't work like that. It echoes back to you what you focus on and what you believe. So if you believe that you already have it, the universe eventually, like, I'm kind of simplifying this, but let's say you believe you have the house and that you are that successful musician or whatever, the universe pretty quickly is going to say, oh, so where is the house then? I better make that happen, because this person really believes that they have a big house and they don't right now. So I need to kind of make that happen. Yeah, that's probably too simple of an explanation, but that's literally how it works, you know. And many people have said that if you look at interviews with like successful people or anyone really who claims they've manifested something they wanted, that's how they say they have done it. They first believed that they were that person, and then they visualized what it would already be like to have that thing, and then pretty quickly they attained that thing. Yeah, so that's it basically. Make sure if you want to know how to raise your vibrations, I say this in every video, but you probably haven't seen it. I have an hour-long training. Link is in the description. And before you start manifesting things, before you start, trying to manifest whatever it is, right? Lots of money, a big house, you've got to remember that, and this is what smart people would do, right? If you're smart, pay attention to this, please. Smart people would look at other people who have already done those things. People who have already become, let's say, millionaires, or they already have a big house, and they would look at their interviews and pay attention to what they say. More often than not, these ultra rich celebrity type people who reach that level of material success that you think you want, they always say the same things. They say the money didn't make me happy, or sometimes they even say the money made them less happy because there's more stress, there's more pressure, you're worried about losing it, people look at you differently, you don't know whether your friends are real or not. There's all kinds of negatives associated with becoming successful in a material sense. And this is what they all say, at least a lot of them. So you have to kind of look at those things and think, okay, why do I want loads of money or a big house? What is the reason? Is it because I think it will make me happy? Or is it because I truly want it for philanthropic purposes? Do you want to have money so you can help people? And that's very different. That's a lot better of a reason than just simply wanting money. If you want to have money so you can help people, that's incredibly beneficial. That's very different. If you just want money because you think it'll make you happy, 99% of the time you're probably wrong. It won't make you happy, or at least it won't make you happy long term. It might be fun in the first few months, maybe even the first couple of years or so, but very quickly you will adapt to the new lifestyle. You will get used to spending this higher amount of money. You'll get used to the luxuries and the 5-star hotels, and then the thrill wears off and it will never be enough. You'll constantly be wanting more, and there'll be this kind of void inside you which material possessions and money will never fill. So that's my only warning about manifestation. Use it to manifest a person you want to be, or a friend or a partner that you want to have. Don't trick yourself into thinking that when you have this money or this big house, that you will then be happy. You need to first, and this goes back to the same kind of law, right? You need to first be happy, and then you can get the thing. You need to first believe you're that person, and that you already have that thing, and then you'll get it. Let me know your best manifestation tip in the comments, and check out my webinar down below.